Okay, I'm going to explain this blockchain assignment. Hopefully you've watched the slides, or at least hopefully understand a little bit at this point. But we're going to walk you through how to create an initial chain value. Then it's going to be combined with 5 random chains, which I will show you how all this works, to create a final chain. Okay? What your job is to figure out the order that I put them in. Okay. You'll need to determine which order the 5 hashes need to be combined with the initial hash to produce the final chain hash. So starting with an initial, you got to figure out the order that I put them in to come up with the final hash. Now, with all the assignments in this class, you can receive 100% if it's done correctly on the due date. But you can also receive up to 5% bonus if you complete it 5 days early. If you complete it 4 days early, you can get 4%, 3 days early, so on and so forth. Okay? Submit the assignment under quizzes, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here. This is a representation of the assignment you'll be given. Using these 5 hashes, everybody's going to get the same hashes. They're just going to be in a different order. Actually, no, you're going to get them all in the same order, but you got to figure out the order to get the final. So, given these 5 hashes, place the hashes in order starting with the initial chain that produced the following final chain. Now, I'm not giving you an initial chain here, but I'll show you that here in a second. So, place them in order starting with the initial chain that produced the final chain, and here's the final chain. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to demo some Python code to make this work. I'm actually providing this to you. Here's the actual code I'm going to demo. It's in the assignment, and it's also posted up as Python code as well. So now I'm actually going to show you how this code works. Okay, you bring it up here. Okay, here's the actual Python code that I literally copied, and if you were to look at this assignment, you will notice this is the exact same code. See it? Look identical, doesn't it? Okay. Now, what this assignment does, first of all, we import hashlib. Hashlib is required because it's going to be creating some hashes. What we're doing is I am creating 5 hashes based upon just this string. A hash can be from anything. It can be from a sentence. It can be from a document. It can be from a file. But in this case, I just happen to be using 5 different hashes that are converted into a SHA-256 hash. The next thing I do is I print them out. I print out the hash digest, all in uppercase for each one. So I created the 5 hashes, I'm printing them out. So that's how you can reference a hash right there. Okay. Then I create the initial empty chain. With a blockchain, you have to start with something to begin with. In this case, I'm starting with a blank one. That way everybody will have the very same initial chain. So we're starting with a blank chain. And I'm going to show you the initial blank chain on the screen. Then I'm going to take the initial chain right here called chain, and I'm going to update it. I'm going to chain update will update this chain. I'm going to update it with the value from hash1.digest. Then I'm going to output the new chain, in other words, the chain that's been updated. Then I'm going to take that new chain, update it again with a second hash digest, and output that one. Then update it again with the third hash digest, and then output that one, and then the same with the fourth, and then the same with the fifth. So after I update it with the 5th one, that's the final one. So then chain becomes our final chain, and then in this case, I just output the final chain. I'm going to show you what this does when I run it. I run it, and this is what I get. I ran it a couple times, but there's the 5 hashes. You'll notice they're the same ones that are on the assignment. Let me go back to the assignment so you can see that they match. Okay, these hashes right here match these hashes here in the assignment right there. Okay, so they're identical. So there's the 5 hashes. There's the initial chain. Everybody starts off with the same initial chain. So when doing this assignment, like it shows you right here, I'm sorry, right here. Yeah, what you're going to see in the assignment, there's going to be a little drop-down list. Actually, I might be able to show that to you. Yeah, I can show that to you here. Here's an example of one of these. I'm just randomly picking one. So you'll see you get the hashes and the final. then what you need to do is figure out which order these go in. So let's look at the one we just ran. So I'm saying the initial is 3EB. So now let's go over here to the output. So 3EB. 3EB. Did anyone see a 3EB on any of this list? Kind of looks like this guy right here, doesn't it? So you would select that one as number 1. That is the initial chain. Then you need to figure out the order of these other 5 to create this final chain. Now, if you're any good at math, you'll know that you have a possibility, or in other words, a choice to figure out what order these go in. And the maximum number of choices needed to create this is 120. So you need to figure out the order these 5 go in to produce this hash. You can do it by hand, but it could take you potentially up to 120 tries. In other words, you could do it in using these up here. You could do hash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, or 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, or 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, or you'd have to figure out which order they go in. Now, what I recommend you doing is write a program to do it. Now, I'm going to show you what I wrote. I'm not going to show you the answer, but here's the program I wrote. I, on purpose, could put the code below so you can't see it. But when I run this, okay, what I did was, here's the code for it. I took one of the answers of a final hash, so I'm saying, here's the final hash. What I did is I copied 5 of them. Here's 5 hashes. So I copied that first final hash in there, and it tells me the order they need to go in. Let's prove that it actually works again. So I'm going to pick another one. And go back to the solution right here. Let's run it a second time. Put in the second hash off that list, and you'll see it does it as well. Let's put in the third hash. I'm just proving that my code works. And let's go over here. Let's run it again. Put in the third hash. Sure enough, that one works as well. You'll notice that since I'm putting this ending hash, it's starting all of them with the same initial hash. But like this one is ending with the final hash. This one ended with this final hash. Okay, so let's do the other 2 so you know it actually works. Run it again. Put in my, whoops. Down here, put in my 4th hash. That one worked. Let's do the 5th one. Okay, disregard the beeping. And put in the 5th hash. Okay, so it does work. Now let me prove to you that it's actually not just faking it. So I'm going to run this again. This time I'm going to put in an invalid hash. In other words, I'm going to delete half of it. And you'll see my program will just go forever. So I had to stop it because it was just going to go on and on and on and on and on and on forever. So let's run it one more time to make sure it still works and I didn't screw it up. And you'll see it worked perfectly. You'll see now we have this ending hash was produced by this beginning hash or initial chain. These in that specific order created this one here. Okay. My line of code to actually solve this is done in only 3 lines of code. What I did was I created a list out of the hash, and I worked with it from that point on. But I'm not going to show you my code because I want you to figure it out. You are welcome to do this by hand, but I feel sorry for you if you do. What you would have to do is you would have to take this demo program and take these pieces of code right here and keep changing the order until it came up with the correct one. You could do that. It wouldn't be all that hard. It would just be tedious. You would literally just have to see here where I have hash 1, hash 1, hash 2, so on and so forth. Just change that order. Maybe, you know, hash 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, or 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, or whatever. Just change this order until the output matches the one you're looking for. Okay? You only have to solve one, but it could potentially take you up to 120 tries. And there's also 120 randomly assigned questions, so the odds of any of you getting the same are slim, but it could happen. Okay, so this is the assignment. It's not all that hard, and Again, I'm giving the exact code to do it. I just did not give you my solution that did the entire thing in 3 lines of code. Alrighty, thank you very much.